We're here with Jerry Ferrara, who you can listen to each and every week on Throwbacks with Matt Leinart on the Sinclair Podcast Network. I'm pretty sure, maybe I just made that up. Is that what we call it?
No, I think it is called the Sinclair Podcast Network, but I could be wrong.
It is a great podcast. We love hearing you guys talk sports. And even for people who aren't into sports, you may recognize Jerry for his acting endeavors. He's an accomplished actor. I know Max is an Entourage fan, so he's going to try not to. Maybe he'll call you Turtle once, just for fun. Right?
It's just hard not to, right?
How many people come up to you? I mean, I'm sure sometimes it's annoying, but just talk to you like you're the character, and you're not. You're Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, when the show first came on the air, obviously, I mean, that's all anybody really ever knew me from. So that's what they thought I was, that person. I do think it was a pretty big compliment back in the day because people wanted it to be real. So I would have people come up to me and talk to me as if I was Turtle, and they'd ask about Vince. I'm like, is that the Playboy Mansion? What do you want me to say? Like, well, I'll play along. Now I've been around for 25 years, and it's a balance. And, I'm an old guy now, so people come up to me, and it's more like looking back on a really, really fun ride that we all had.
Yeah, they probably think you can party like the guy on that show, right? And you're off to the Fanatics red carpet at the Super Bowl. There'll be some great parties at the Super Bowl, I'm sure. It's kind of like the perfect mix of celebrities, actors, and athletes. It's like all your passions coming together in one.
Yeah, I know with the Fanatics party will be live, and I do think that's one of the bigger, if not the biggest party from what I have been told. It was the way to get an easy invite too. Hey, you want to come host your show on the red carpet, and you come into the party after. So I'm working for the party ticket inside afterwards. That's why I'm doing this. But yeah, I already snuck peeks at the guest list, and a lot of quarterbacks that Leinart could interact with. I'm 5'6", so everyone's gonna be looking over me to Matt. But then when the actors come around, that's when I think I'll shine.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. You got to let Matt handle the NFL guys. You're doing the movie stars, that kind of aspect. I like that.
Yes, exactly.
I know you're a big style guy, so obviously, like in the show, the Fukijama shoes. Are you taking that to the red carpet? Because I feel like those would be the place to shine, the red carpet at the Fanatics party. So,
Max, it's funny you say that. I was literally talking to my wife the other night about, it would be a good conversation piece. Maybe if because these things have never touched the ground before, right? Maybe if I wear them now the problem is, they're worth a good bit of money. Not that I'm selling them anytime soon, but man, how do I put them through security? I'm going to be sweating it going through the checked bag part of it all, but I might do it. Matter of fact, they're in my office right over there. I could see them staring at me saying, "Wear me." So they might come out.
Max, you may have been the final decision right there, just bringing it up on this interview.
Listen, I agree with Jerry. With those shoes, you have to you can't let anybody else touch those shoes. You got to hold them to the chest.
It's like Dorothy's ruby slippers.
Actually,
Judy
kind of.
Garland, traveling with them.
Yeah, I was gonna wear them years ago to the Entourage movie premiere. I thought that'd be a cool red carpet to wear them to, but then I could, because all my friends were coming to the premiere. I couldn't get anyone to then take them right back home because I was not wearing them into that party. And that's what worries me about the Fanatics party. It's going to be packed. A lot of people, a lot of stepping on. I'm an easy guy to step on toes. So that worries me.
Oh, dude. And somebody bumps into you, somebody spills a drink. Next thing you know, there's beer on the shoes.
What if Shaq steps on my foot?
Oh my God. TMZ.
While wearing those.
To get the footage of this and report on your reaction to that. I don't know what you would do.
I mean, it would cost me thousands of dollars if Shaq steps on those.
Well, good news is I think Shaq can afford it, though. So I think we're all right with that aspect of it.
Yeah, but this is kind of like a one-on-one. Like we said on the show, it's hard to replicate these, So
That's fair. That's fair.
This is that's what's so great about you, man, is you could tell by your personality, you really have, you take your acting seriously, but you're a big sports fan, and you just are who you are. So I love the choice that you've made here to kind of maybe try being a sports broadcaster or a podcaster for a while, and it's so great listening to you and Matt Leinart. I got to talk to Matt at the Orange Bowl. No easier guy to talk sports with. What is that? Well, first of all, how did you guys specifically, hook up to do this, and how has it been for you so far? Because we love listening to it.
So look, for me, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, big Yankees, Knicks fan, Rangers as well. I see you got the Florida Panthers behind you. And I was like a kid. I didn't have like a TV in my room growing up until I was a little bit older, but I consumed sports, listened to it on the radio. And that's what I wanted to actually be an actual broadcaster. I wanted to call games. Acting is something I got into almost unintentionally, and it worked out. So all throughout life, I think what the good part of my acting career was, it's always allowed me to do things like go on First Take or fill in for Dan Patrick or do all this cool sports stuff, which is really where my heart is. So when this podcast came around and I decided to fully commit to it, it was easy once we were throwing around some names and they said Leinart. I'm like, me and Leinart were running around LA. He was winning Heisman's. I was starring on Entourage. I feel like that's like a good match. And I found out we have kids the same age and we're going through a lot of the same stuff in our 40s now. So we were off to the races. It actually got locked down at last year's Super Bowls when we first started talking about this. So we're coming up on 1 year of just the idea of this.
How cool is that?
It's super cool.
Yeah,
super
and a
cool.
New York guy. I know you're a Giants fan. It's hard to be impartial when you're looking at Saquon Barkley right there as perhaps the biggest guy in the Super Bowl, right? Like, do you have to sort of put that all aside, or do you are you very open of your feelings on the Philadelphia Eagles?
So I think the 25-year-old version of me would have been, oh, how could Saquon do this? I hate the Eagles. I'm rooting for the Chiefs. The 45-year-old version of me, I'm just happy for the guy. Honestly, I really am. I have no issue with what he did. He went to a team that, I don't think the Giants are in the Super Bowl right now had we kept Saquon Barkley, right? So clearly he made the right decision. The window is so small to get chances to play in Super Bowls and win in Super Bowls. I really have no issue. I'm not one of those. Maybe 20 years ago, yes, I would have been screaming and burning the Saquon jersey. Not now. I'm happy for the guy. I really am. I'm happy for the guy.
So not John Mara saying that having trouble going to sleep if Saquon goes to Philadelphia.
No, but I also don't own the team. So I probably would feel a little differently if I owned the team and I let him get away.
That's very cool. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. One thing I do want to ask Jerry is, man, we look at this game, what's the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to about the actual Super Bowl game?
So I think it's really cool anytime we all get to witness greatness. I know everyone's hating on the Chiefs and they've been there and we've had this kind of matchup already. But I mean, you're going for a three-peat in the NFL. To me, I think that's really cool. And honestly, what better team to stop them? I do think the Eagles coming out of the NFC have been the best team all year. I think they have the best offensive and defensive line. They have the best running back. I think this is a crazy matchup. I think if they pull off the three-peat, then it's just undeniable they're in some territories that no one's really ever been in before.
And it makes me think, if the Eagles win, it almost seems like a bigger than Super Bowl victory. You're slaying the dragon, right? Like this is if the Eagles win, that is something to behold besides just the confetti coming down, right?
They joined their own elite thing where they could say they beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. They beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So also no one else can say, my Giants beat Brady twice, but we've never, haven't even come close to beating the Chiefs in the regular season, let alone the Super Bowl. So I think that'd be really wild for the Eagles to beat those two quarterbacks within the last 7-8 years.
Hey, totally changing topics as a Knicks fan. I mean, I was sitting there watching them play the Lakers on, I think it was Saturday night.
Saturday night?
And
Yeah,
then,
I believe
less
so,
than
yeah.
an hour later, the Luka stuff breaks, and I'm, what's going on? This has to be fake. What did you? I know you're a big basketball guy. What do you think of the Doncic situation?
Well, I blame Leinart. He's an LA dude. He grew up in Orange County,
They did
USC. Then we start our show. The Yankees, Dodgers happen to meet in the World Series. This maniac flies to New York, to my hometown, and goes to Game 5 and watches the Dodgers clinch. And now he's walking around yeah, I love the Lakers. And then Luka falls in their lap. So I blame Leinart at the end of the day.
So it's almost like the Chiefs bandwagon, almost-ish?
Yes. All jokes aside, I mean, we're going to talk about it on the show tomorrow. We have one show left before we leave for New Orleans. And I have a lot of thoughts. I don't want to take up all your time, but I do. I'll give an anti-take that not a lot of people are getting. Of course, the Lakers should have given up more. That's the headline. Like, how did you only get that much? But if you go around the league, give me the trade offers that would make the Mavericks have to say, oh, maybe we'll go with that. Go team by team, try to figure out what they would offer for Luka, put the package together, and let's hear this out because, what is Anthony Davis worth today? Three unprotected firsts? So would you rather 3 unprotected firsts from the Heat, or would you rather Anthony Davis? It's a really intricate thing. We'll be talking about this for years to come.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think it's probably like top 3 NBA trades in history, just like the magnitude of how it all went down, especially like,
in the middle of the night, too. I mean, Laker fans were sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I should say, well, they were. They maybe
bad for us East Coasters. Yeah, bad for us East Coasters.
Were sleeping, and some of them woke up and looked at their phones, and there was...
Well, and especially because there was no, a lot, like the Adam Schefters of the world, the Shams of the world, Mavericks potentially looking for Luka.
No
nobody in their right mind knew that this was coming.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been leaked right away, too. I think if the Mavericks talked to 5 or 6 teams, I think it gets leaked right away. But maybe that would have helped get more from the Lakers because they should have gotten more from the Lakers. That's the headline.
100%. Well, we look forward to listening to Throwbacks, you and Matt Leinart, every single week, and where can that's going to be live from the red carpet?
We'll be live. Yes, yeah. we'll be live on all the Throwback accounts, on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. I mean, everyone who's at the Super Bowl is probably going to be at this party, so we'll do our best to get as many people on quickly and try not to make the same 3 questions that everybody's going to ask. We're going to try to be a little more original and see how we do. I've been on a few of these carpets, so maybe I'll have some insight of how to ask a question that maybe they didn't get asked yet.
I can't wait to see what shoes he's wearing. Thank you so much, Jerry, for joining us. And again, we love your podcast. Keep it going for years to come.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.